Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing today? So, I'm going to let a few people jump on. It's kind of an impromptu live. We did one yesterday. It was all about fun. Hung out with the boys in the shop. They chose the layouts on their new bowling balls for the YouTube channel, which bowling balls they were going to test. We had Quentin, we had Jaden. They both chose the new Revenges from Radical, and we filmed their fresh off the press last night. The last few days, my inbox is overloaded with people questioning a certain video. They would like my take and perspective on it. We're going to address that, but we're going to let some people jump in. Gunpowder, what's going on? Spectre X. Ed Sharps, what is going on? Oh, shout out to Jason. I put a post up on Facebook looking for one of these, and Jason delivered. I appreciate that. My very first honor sport ball when I was a child, so it's nice to have it back. Jax, how we doing? So, a lot of the people that are jumping on this live know the channel, know who I am. If not, I'm James. I own and operate 10 in the Pit Pro Shop. We do a review channel. We do a bowling ball review process that benefits every pro shop around us. We're not here to sell product, we're not here to sell bowling balls. I'll make that perfectly clear. So when we review a bowling ball, it's just knowledge that you take to your local pro shop and help you as bowlers get to where you want to be. The last week has been a little crazy in the comment section of a couple of the videos about a video about heat hurting bowling balls. I don't know if it's true. Everything I have been told, everything I have experienced is if you keep your temperature at 120 degrees and you don't go over 140 degrees, you will not bake the plasticides out of a bowling ball. That is what I've been told. That is what I've always gone by. That is what I have always told all of my customers. We're going to find out if I'm right. So this certain video, I guess they had a brand new bowling ball. They put heat to it and made stuff come out of it. We're going to find out. I'm gonna put it to the test, and we're going to do it live with no gimmicks, no nothing. I got brand new reviver pads. I'm literally going to put a brand new bowling ball in a reviver. We're going to bake it and see what happens. I literally just opened the pack. Brand new reviver pads. We'll put them in the Hoss machine. So there's no chance of that being a failure point. We're going to pick 2 bowling balls off of the shelf, literally brand new. I'm going to let you guys pick them so there's no control perspective here, because I am curious as well. I want to know if everything I've been doing has been detrimental to my customers' bowling balls. So we're going to find out. Like I said, we're not here to sell products. We're here to let you guys know whatever we possibly can at the time. It is a very quiet Saturday in the bowling alley tonight, so we're going to take full advantage of it. You might hear some pins falling here at some point. I think we do finally have some open bowlers coming in. But I'm going to fire up the revivers. I'm going to move the camera. Like I said, this is not planned, all spur of the moment because of the inbox kind of blowing up. Don't mind the mess. I was drilling for most of the day, so we are testing the theory that heat is bad for bowling balls. We're going to find out. We're going to go through a process here. Certain video was posted, and a lot of my customers and a lot of my viewers have been reaching out to me, and we're going to test it. So I'm going to fire these up. Now, one I'm going to set to the highest temperature that the reviver will go to, which is 140 degrees. I'm going to set this one to that. So 140, I will bring the camera closer. And I'm gonna set this one to 120 degrees. I will bring the camera closer so everybody understands what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. I am trying to learn as well. I'm not saying someone's right, I'm not saying someone is wrong at all. So this one here, 140, this is the highest this one will go. Oh, I got a ball in there. See, I'm not prepared for this at all. Almost. Sorry about that, guys. And this one here, 120 degrees. That is all. This is normally what I run my. I actually run my revivers at 122 degrees, but that's either here or there. I'm gonna put the new pads in. Put one in each machine. If we're gonna bake one at 120, we're gonna bake one at 140. See what happens here. So we're going to close these. There's nothing in them. We're going to let them get to temp, and then we're going to put 2 new bowling balls, and you guys are going to choose the bowling balls. Yes. KVAS 2420. That would be the video I am referring to. Trying to decide between the Super Cuda and the Piranha Power Core Pearl. I am a huge fan of that Piranha Power Core Pearl. That is a really good Columbia ball. It's really sad that they're no longer a brand. That makes me really sad. So as they are getting up to temp, I did, like I said, we're going to bounce this camera all around. I did get some oil from the center. We are going to put it on the bowling ball cover just like they did to see how quick it does absorb. In the meantime, I'll let you guys, hopefully you can see the bowling ball selection behind me. I'm literally going to grab a bowling ball off the shelf. I'm going to let you guys pick it. I'm quite sure he tested a Brunswick product, but I've got the Full Effect, the Black Widow 3.0, the Vex Deep Impact. I have the new Revenges and the Double Trouble. We're going to do one at 120 and one at 140. I also have a GB5 hybrid, a Kinetic, a Strategy, a Combat hybrid. And then I've got the Storm stuff on top, Monsoon, Rocket AI, Bionic, Gremlin Tour X. I have the Venom Hysteria, the Super Sport, the Evoke Mayhem, and the Apex Jackal. So if you guys want to put 2 bowling balls down in the comments, whatever you guys want to see me bake is what we're going to bake, brand new. Don't care what brand, you guys choose. Still waiting for those to warm up. We're at 108 degrees so far. Double Trouble at 120. Piranha Solid is one of my favorites. That orange thing is definitely really good. Let's see. I have to say the video on heat is compelling, but to be fair, it is worthy for a further study. Hard to be controlled experiment, but awesome you are doing something. Well, like I said, I'm not saying somebody's wrong. I'm not saying somebody is right. That is the last thing I'm trying to do. I am doing this as a customer perspective because if you watch that video, the next question that a lot of my guys that reached out to me, or my customers reached out to me, they're like, okay, so do I stop baking my bowling balls? Well, everything I've been taught, everything I've been explained, at 120 degrees, you can bake them hundreds of times. But let's find out. I'm not going to say I'm right. I'm not going to say this other video is right either. We're going to put it to the test and we're going to find out. Is the mic on? It's kind of low. Oh, How about that? Is that better? Full effect at 140, Evoke Mayhem at 120. Done. That sounds good to me. Ed Sharts. You're not the only one, buddy. You are not the only one. A lot of people don't do the maintenance on their bowling balls because, well, I only charge $20 to make a bowling ball, so it's not really that expensive, but at the same time, by the time you get 50 to 70 games in it, you either know you like it or hate it by then, and normally you're looking to get a new bowling ball, but if you like it, it's definitely worth the investment of maintenance. Uh-oh. Let's see. Having sound issues. When I moved it, I probably knocked it out. Is that any better? I might be gentle with it. Good old iPhone attachment. I was going to say, the mics sound like to say that they're working. Yeah, a lot of people don't believe in the maintenance, so some of you guys that do reached out to me and they would like an input on the video, so that is what I'm going to try to do today. Is the sound any better? Let me back up away from the camera. Sound any better? Okay. I will unplug the camera and we will reset this thing if I have to. Getting really up close and personal. If you didn't know me, you will know me after this video. See if this helps. Oops. Little Beard, we're doing brand new bowling balls with no holes in them. We're literally taking them off the shelf. Hopefully the sound is better. All right, so I think we had, sounds good. Okay, perfect. My case was preventing the mic from snapping in. We got full effect at 140, Evoke Mayhem at 120. We'll just run with that because that looks like the only one that's down in there. Oh, Double Trouble at 120. Let's see. All right. Aegon, what is going on? Welcome to our live little test here. So I'm going to turn this around. I'll probably have to push the mics back in. We're at 142 on that one, 120 on that. That's what we're looking for. We'll put the camera right here. No, actually, we're going to go back to here. Okay, we're going to grab, Justin, what you, Little Beard, what you say, a Black Widow? Black Widow. And let's choose something else that's not a Brunswick product. Let's do Evoke Mayhem because that was on the list as well. So we got two solid bowling balls. I believe that's what they tested as well. A little dusty actually. Okay, we're going to put the Black Widow in at 120. We are going to put the Evoke Mayhem in at 140. Even though I wouldn't even make a bowling ball at 140, but whatever. Okay. Those are loaded up. In 5 seconds, I will show you guys. So like I said, I'm not trying to hide anything. This is for my knowledge as well. Got a Black Widow 3.0 at 120. We have an Evoke Mayhem at 140. I'm gonna put the camera back now. I'll answer some questions and stuff like that while we're waiting, but we're gonna find out. Little Beer, just trying to get yours done. I mean, I could add it to the other side, but that means I'd have to walk out to go get it. Big Mike, one of the blue corals will be for sale. The other one is Aiden's. Panda Team Leader, what's going on? So just to recap what we are trying to do today, we are going to test the theory that heat moves plasticides out of a bowling ball. We are going to test one at 120. We are going to test one at 140. Two different brands. We got a Black Widow 3.0 at 120, and we have an Evoke Mayhem at 140. That is the goal. That is what we're doing. I don't know what the result is going to be. I'm as curious as everybody who has messaged me or emailed me about this topic. That is what we are doing today. Mr. Mice, that's what I said earlier. Everything I've been taught before I open my pro shop, as long as you keep the temperature under 120, I apologize. As long as you keep the temperature under 140, you normally have nothing to worry about when you're baking a bowling ball. This certain video showed the bowling ball getting to 120 degrees temp, and there was definitely something coming out of the cover. I'm not going to say what it was because supposedly it was a brand new bowling ball. He also wiped his finger on the bowling ball with oil like half a dozen times, and the ball almost stopped absorbing the oil in the same spot after a few swipes of his finger with oil on it. So we're going to test all of that. So that is the whole goal of today. I'm as curious as everybody else. I'm not here to prove anybody right, wrong. I'm here to find out for myself. So normally I will bake a bowling ball for a half an hour to see what comes out of it. If nothing comes out of it, I'll give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll normally just let it cool and we'll go through the resurfacing process because we're not here to damage any equipment normally. This one here, since they're already up to temp, I'm only going to bake them for probably 15 minutes or so, give or take a couple of minutes, and see what happens, because his was instant. You could see it instantly, but I want to know. So I'm going to make sure that we're baking them at some sort of temperature for a little while. And right now, as of right now, there's nothing coming out of them, just letting you know. So we're going to give it, they've been in there for 3 minutes apiece. Kinetic Sapphire is one of the weird I don't even know how they call it an ASIM. Normally an asymmetrical bowling ball has to have a mass bias or an asymmetrical over 0.10. Another one that was close to that was the Hammer 3D offset assault, and the whole offset line. That was for 15 pounds, it was like 0.11 or something like that. That one was at least a true asymmetrical. The Kinetic for 15 pounds is 0.006. To get it to over 0.10, you have to go to a 13 or 12 pound bowling ball, but that's because it's got a different core. If you were going to try a symmetrical pearl, is the Crown Vic pearl the best option? John Anderson, it all depends on if you're looking for angularity or not. My favorite symmetrical pearl or one of my favorite symmetrical pearls is the Venom Hysteria right now, and the Black Widow, no, sorry, the Hammerhead Pearl. Those are two of my favorites right now. Mild ASIMs are one of my favorites as well. I totally agree. One of my favorite bowling balls last year was the Hammer Offset Assault. I love that bowling ball. Phase 2 Pearl was really good. I rated that very high for our reviews. It does everything you're looking for after a benchmark piece. I totally agree. I like the Hammerhead because it's a little bit quicker and a little bit more earlier than the Phase 2. In the Phase 2 category, I'm a huge fan of the Nebula. That is my favorite long and angular bowling ball. So we're actually going to, like I said, they've been in there for about 5-6 minutes. We're going to find out together. So let's just double check them. That's the Evoke. 140 degrees. Now it's 124 because I opened the door. But that's the Evoke at 140 degrees, and there's no oil coming out of that bowling ball. Same with that one. There's nothing coming out of the bowling ball. The ball's warm to touch. 110 degrees. Like I said, I don't know. We're gonna let it sit for a couple more minutes, and then I'm gonna double check the pad to make sure that there's nothing on the pad. That's why I changed the pad, to make sure. But we're gonna test it out. We're gonna find out. Zero Mercy is a bigger ball than the Equinox Solid. The Equinox Solid is a step down from your big asymmetrical solid. That is what they designed it for. Storm actually designed it to play behind the Ion Max and RST Hyperdrive, and it does it phenomenal. The Equinox Solid is one of my favorites. So they've been in there for 8 minutes now, roughly 8 minutes, maybe 6.5, but we're gonna give it 10, 15 minutes and then we'll double check everything. Hyperdrive Solid is really good. I like the way it kind of gives a little bit more angularity out of the solid, but it's not as angular as the Ion Max Solid. Ion Max Solid can get a little angular, so if you like that shape, RST is just a little bit less than that, but it can become a little bit more angular. Jax, I totally agree. We just did a video on what we would drill today if we had to. Quentin and I were sitting down having that conversation, and that was definitely one of my ASIM solids to drill. Jason Bork, I totally agree. Ion Max is a really good ball one. It takes a little bit to break the cover in, but once you get the cover broken, it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite solids. I think the Synthesis is a little bit better for the rounder shape. That is one of the newer ones that just came out, so I am high on that one too for the rounder shape. Craig Whammy number 8, my guy. This is an impromptu live. My inbox and emails were filling up with wanting me to comment and respond to a certain video about heat not being good for bowling balls. So everybody that did ask me this question for the last few days, I mean, you guys in the comments can verify it for me. I literally told them that we would test it and we would find out, and I wasn't commenting on anything until I tested it. I was going to test it privately, maybe make a video, and I decided there's no point. We're just going to do it live. We're going to do it in front of everybody, and we're going to find out if heat is bad for a bowling ball. So to let you know how we are testing that, we have a Black Widow 3.0, brand new, right off of my shelf at 120 degrees. And we have a Evoke Mayhem at 140 degrees in the other Reviver. So we are doing two different brands. We are doing two different temperatures to find out. Yeah, Jason, I'm a huge fan of the Equinox. I have drilled 3 of them this year, actually. See, the first one I drilled, I did the review for the channel, and I really loved it. I rated it really high. And then, who was it? They were going to a tournament, and they wanted a big, not a big asymmetrical solid. They wanted a more of a control asymmetrical solid, and I sold it. Oh, Steve Tiffany. Sold it to my buddy Steve Tiffany, and he took it to a tournament, and he shot pretty well with it. So I had to replace the one I sold Steve, and then I wanted to change a different layout, so I sold the second one as well, and then I went with my favorite layout on it, and I even like it even more, which is a 70 by 4 by 50. That is my favorite Storm layout right now. Big B, they are brand new. There are no games on these bowling balls. They are brand new, right off of my shelf for sale. That was the whole point of the video. Supposedly the other video used a brand new bowling ball, and they had nothing but plasticides come out at 120 degrees. So these have been in here for 10 minutes. He got a response instantly. So I'm just gonna get ready to pull these bad boys out here, because we're not getting anything. So this has been in here for a good 8-10 minutes. We've been on live for how long now? 28 minutes? Yeah, so it's been a good 8-10 minutes. Nothing in that one. And, oh, this one stopped spinning though. That's not good. I'll have to check that out. And nothing on this one. I'm gonna pull these out, and we're gonna check the pads. So you guys are going to get up close and personal with me again. But just to show you, 120 degrees, nothing coming out of this bowling ball at all. It's warm to touch. The pad, nothing on the pad at all. Dry. And that's why I put a brand new pad in it. Okay, so that was 120 degrees. So let's check the 140 degree. So 140 degree, definitely a lot warmer to touch, but nothing coming out of this bowling ball that I can see at all. It's got some runs from my rollers, but other than that, nothing coming out of the cover, and definitely warm to the touch. So we're going to set this back over here. Try not to destroy the camera here. Make sure the mics are still locked in there. We're going to turn this sideways. All right, so that would be a brand new Black Widow 3.0, ran through the Reviver for about 10 minutes. Nothing came out of it. Motive Evoke, 140 degrees. Nothing came out of it, as you guys all saw. Oh, what? Oh, the other thing he did, he put his finger in oil. I put the pads back in. I put the pads back in. So throwing things. So I did grab a jug of oil. I'm gonna grab a Vexed here. Brand new Vexed, off the shelf. We're gonna see how long it takes to absorb some oil. We're gonna actually move the camera. We're gonna spin this down. I apologize for all the movement, guys. Like I said, kind of impromptu video here. Hopefully it's catching what I need it to. Brand new jug of oil, as you can tell. Little catch cup. So, nice dark color. Hopefully y'all can see that. I apologize because it does move every time I do move it. Okay, are we ready? Let's do this. That was a big glob of oil. So as you get thinner, we're gonna do 3 lines. So as you get thinner, you're gonna see the ball try to absorb it. Just like in his video. So this one here, the thinner oil is starting to evaporate. Oh, I still had oil on my finger. You can see the line I just touched. So that should evaporate before everything else. As you can tell, it is starting to. So, you know, the first one I put on the bowling ball, brand new bowling ball, was, you know, the thickest amount of oil. Thinner and thinner, starting to absorb. I still have oil on my finger, as you can tell. And it's starting to absorb. The one I did first is not, because that was a heavy glob. Now, I'm not saying that's how their video went, but I didn't even think about it. So the thinner ones are absorbing, just like on your bowling, because there's not many milliliters of oil in down, and I think what, 38 to 41 feet of oil. How many ever milliliters your house shot is. So the first two, the last two that were thinner oil have absorbed. The third one's starting to. The fourth one, the very first one with the heavy daub of oil is still sitting there. So, if all of the solutions always create a new product for sale, I guess that's good for business. So, but absorbing. Still absorbing, same spot, same spot. So it all depends on how thin you want to run that oil, basically. This is still the very first one I did, right there, and it's running down the side of the ball. But still absorbing where I touched it with my thumb. There's no telling how much he had on his finger when he did his. So I don't know how to compare this test, to be in all honesty. I know the cover absorbs it fairly quick. I thought his was absorbing a touch quicker, but maybe I did too much oil, which is possible. But as you can tell, it is absorbing. I'll add more where those other ones were. Still absorbing. What did he use? Bowling ball cleaner? He did use bowling ball cleaner, right? Well, we can do it again after bowling ball cleaner if we'd like. Just bowling ball cleaner. Wipe it off. Sorry for shaking the camera. Same spot that I did it before. It's absorbing. Nothing came out in the reviver. It's kind of, I mean, I don't know. He used a torch. I didn't use a torch. I used what I would use for my customers. So, I don't know. The ball's absorbing the oil. It all depends on how thick you put it on with your finger. So, it's one of those weird tests.
How long has it been?
Right before you walked in the door with the phone.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So you got, okay.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Having fun with it. So, as you can tell, it's absorbing. Like I said, it all depends on how thick you put it on with your finger. So I don't know how to test that at all. So, like I said, I don't even think it matters what cleaner you use, as long as you use a cleaner, in all honesty. Do it one more time. I mean, after you clean them, they still absorb. But it all depends on how thick your swipe is of oil. Not a really scientific test in my opinion, but that one's almost gone. That one's almost gone. The middle one was the first one I did, so it's a little bit thicker. That's going to take a minute. But yeah, so. That one's gone. I know it's not an action-packed video, guys, but I was curious. I still... So I'm going to stick to what I've always been taught. After doing this, we baked a brand new bowling ball. Nothing came out of it. I'm going to say heat is safe for your bowling ball, as long as you moderate the heat. I don't recommend anything over 120 degrees. That's what I bake. I mean, I bake at 122, but every time you open it, it cools down. So I bake at 120 degrees, basically. I've never had one crack. I've never had one give up performance, really. As long as you keep your covers clean, your bowling ball cleaner is really important. I will say that. You want something that's going to kind of penetrate the cover. You're going to want something that's going to get the oil out of the bowling ball. All depends on what you prefer. I mean, I've got a few different ones. And as you use it, you want it to sit on the cover for a little bit to allow the chemical to work, to absorb that oil that's in that bowling ball. You want it to penetrate the cover stock. You don't want to just spray it on and wipe it off. You want to let it sit there and do its job. I cover the whole ball. Bowling ball cleaner is cheap. Well, depending on where you get it from. Bowling ball cleaner is cheap. Just spray the whole thing, let it sit there for a couple of seconds, and then wipe it off, and you will have a lot more success on the lane and cleaning your bowling ball. All right. So that would be the same test they did. That's basically where I'm at. I'm going to put the camera back. Give me 5 seconds, guys. Like I said, actually, I'll put it right back over here because the Black Widow we tested, the Vex we tested, and the Evoke Mayhem we tested. All brand new, no holes. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying maybe their heat source was more volatile than what we use to revive or rejuvenate your bowling equipment. That is all I'm going to say. All right, let's see. Where are we at? Oh, the first one that jumps out at me for comments, because I will touch the comments before we wrap this up, because this was definitely an impromptu video. Let's see. Submarine Mike, before I use the ball cleaner, I use a wet Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. I do not recommend Mr. Clean Magic Erasers on your bowling ball. There's a product that's very similar to Mr. Clean Magic Erasers. I know a couple other brands have them as well. The Motive ones do not have the chemical in, any of the chemicals in them that are going to damage your cover stock. These are really good. I recommend these. I sell these on our website all the time. I even sell them in an individual, so you don't have to buy the whole pack, even though the whole pack's like $10 or something like that. But I swear by these things. These are phenomenal. They are great, and they don't have any of the harsh chemicals that the Mr. Clean Magic Erasers have in them. Just to let you guys know. Yeah, you can use, like, I go through probably one, maybe two of them a quarter, and I bowl 5 nights a week. And I mean per quarter of league. I throw them in the top of my bag, and they last for quite a bit. Craig Whammy, yes, I do have a foaming cleaner as well. It's orange. It's very comparable to a other product that we tested in our foaming challenge cleaner. It's very similar, and the reviews I get off of this is it's a little bit better, but I'm not here to sell product or toot my own horn. Let's see. Ed Sharp, I already did a bowling ball review. I think I did most of the bowling ball cleaners my distributor could get in. That's not all of them available. I can tell you in the last few weeks, if you come in and test my bowling ball cleaner, I can show you I call it a bowling ball cleaning challenge. They bring their cleaner in, they clean their bowling ball, and then I clean their bowling ball after it with my cleaner. And Big B, I have a whole drawer of these, but these are some of the bigger ones that people use, so I just leave these ones out. Tack Up and Lane Ghost are all some of the products that my cleaner has beat. But I'm not here to sell product. So, yes. But yes, we did do a bowling ball cleaner. Quentin did it for us, and he folded the towel each time. Some people were complaining about that he didn't use a new towel, but outcome's pretty similar. The Vex is really good. Tyler just did the review, Craig. He really loves it. We did a maximum layout on it, and that ball does everything he wants it to do. Now the after drilling numbers are a little bit skewed from what Tyler did. He did the maximum layout, but because he doesn't have a thumb hole, and his finger holes are centered in the grip instead of spread out, the after numbers are skewed a little bit, just to let everybody know. But he really likes his. Every solid needs surface maintenance. Who is that? BDGF06. I totally agree. It's one of the skills that you need to be aware of when you buy a new bowling ball. All of my customers, I walk them through. We carry vice pads. I'm a firm believer in the vice pads. They last longer. Carry all the grits. I walk all my new bowling ball owners through everything to keep their bowling ball at maximum performance. Or try to, I should say. Keep it at maximum performance. I know I missed a bunch of comments because I was going through with what we were doing there. So let's see. Craig, totally agree. You got to do ball maintenance. You got to keep your covers fresh. Yes, I think everybody's catching on to the same thing that I was kind of. But like I said, I wasn't here to prove anybody wrong. I'm not here to duplicate their test. I am here to make sure that my customers are going to be aware of what we do to rejuvenate and to revive their bowling ball. And I wanted to put it to the test because the way he did his, it made it seem like at 120 degrees, you're going to lose all the plasticides in the bowling ball. We didn't get anything to come out. So I wanted to test it. So maybe his heat source was a little bit more volatile than the heat source we use to rejuvenate the bowling ball. And that's basically all I'm going to say on that. Yeah, they both came out pretty good. Like I said, his heat source was a little bit different, but I wanted to test the heat source that we use in the shop because I'm worried about my customers' experience. You're looking for a good motive ball, Jax? I love the Nebula. The Nebula is one of the longest angular bowling balls I've thrown this year. I really like it. It takes surface well. It does everything I want it to do when I need it to do. Another really good one is that new Venom. Even though you guys haven't seen it on our channel yet, that new Venom does look good. I have seen it. I have rolled it. Looks really good. Donald Sprouse. What about the Equinox Solid versus the Special Effect? I'm a huge fan of the Equinox solid. I think it's better than the Effect line, hands down. I think that catches me up on most of the comments. Everybody else was pretty much agreeing about the ball maintenance. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, just the Magic erasers have some of the chemicals in it to help you clean a lot of the surfaces that you're cleaning, and some of those chemicals are not good for a bowling ball. Craig, so when I go to higher volumes and I want the ball to smooth out a little bit, I have used it at 4,000 and 3,000 grit, and it does smooth it a little bit better. It allows you to keep everything more in check, and it doesn't make it as volatile on the back end because the nebula's long and snaps. But I like it straight out of box too. It's a really good ball. Robert, the best thing, a bowling ball cleaner, I don't even care what brand it is, as long as it is removing and penetrating the cover, as long as you get some of those oil particles out of your bowling ball, and it allows your bowling ball to create a little bit of tack up on your hybrids and pearls, that's good. Because normally when you clean a bowling ball, you hit it with a little bit of surface for your solids. You don't want your bowling ball to be tacky for your solids. It's one of those, clean it, hit it with surface, and then wipe it off, and you're normally good. Or you can just get it wet and hit it with surface, but I like to get some of the oil out of the cover, so I clean mine before I hit it with surface or after I hit it with surface. Either way you want to do it's fine. After's better because you're opening up the pores a little bit with the surface pad, and then if you clean it afterwards, the cleaner's definitely getting into the bowling ball. Rubbing alcohol, I do not recommend. It is, so back in the day, it was fine on some of the urethane and plastic products. Rubbing alcohol was huge. Everybody liked rubbing alcohol, but now that the chemicals of these bowling balls are changing, and because of the plasticizers in these bowling balls, you don't want your bowling ball to absorb more harsh chemicals to destroy the makeup of that bowling ball. So I don't recommend just straight rubbing alcohol. Vinny, if you got an old bowling ball and it's still rolling well for you, it's definitely worth cleaning and detoxing, in my opinion. It'll bring the bowling ball back a little bit. It'll give you some of that performance that was in that bowling ball. Even though the 20-year-old technology is not as predominant as the new bowling ball technology of the stuff that we have today, it's still going. I've got an old Yeah Baby from Lane Masters. I've got an old Venom Shock. I still throw them, but I'm pretty keen on my maintenance. So Randy, what's going on, buddy? Ion Max is looking good. That's good. So let's see. I think we've done a few videos in the shop where I think I had one alcoholic beverage in one of the videos. Was Blanton's might be one of them, Craig. Blanton's is really good, one of my favorites. And then we did some Stag. Stag's a little stronger. 129 proof, definitely got some bite to it. And then I think we did some Hardin's Creek. All are really good. Not going to mention names, but I did have a gentleman come in and bring me some Von Payne. You could only get this in Florida for the longest time. He brought me a bottle, and let me tell you, this stuff here, if you haven't tried it, really good. Really, really good. All right. So Windex will work for a cleaner. It's a temporary product. I don't recommend it for long periods of time to use. You're not going to get a lot of the stuff out of the bowling ball, but Windex will definitely keep your surface clean. It won't penetrate the cover and get some of the oil out. Let's see, can a right-handed bowler throw a ball that has been laid out and drilled for a lefty? I mean, yeah, you can throw it. The core might not rev up the right way for you, and you might not see it drive through the pins as well as it possibly could. Depending on your rev rate and access tilt. Yeah, so the core could be fighting itself for the first couple of revolutions down the lane before it starts to get to the pins. All right, so I believe that catches us all up on the comments. Now, I have covered everything I wanted to cover in this live. I was curious of the test that we did do on this live, and I'm a little bit more relieved after the test, knowing that nothing came out of the bowling balls. But I'm going to stick to my guns here and say that as long as you use low temperature professional equipment to restore your bowling balls, I don't see any damage coming from them. Let's see, I bowl in a super dry house and have a lot of hand. I throw it in league on the dry stuff and it works really well. When I throw it in oil, it doesn't move at all. Mr. Garrett, that would be part of what I was talking about, because if you play on friction, you're going to get the ball to rev up, you're going to be able to get the ball to the lay, and it's probably going to do even better on friction for you because the core's got to rev up a little bit more, so it's going to play that dry a little bit better. You can get the same outcome with a more, like a 70 or sorry, a 60 by 5 by 80 layout on a smaller symmetrical or asymmetrical bowling ball. You'll get the same effect as a left-handed drilled bowling ball, but if it's working for you, it's working for you. Let's see. Mr. Garrett, yeah, there's as long as you're using all the holes that are in the bowling ball, that is the biggest thing that USBC is worried about. They don't care how it's laid out, as long as it doesn't have too much top weight and all that other good stuff. But as long as it's a legal layout, you're normally good. Let's see. James, I was told drilling with a negative valve angle would turn up and roll forward and lose energy. Is this correct? And what were you just explaining? A bowling ball that was drilled for a lefty, a right-hander was using. Yes, sir.
I'm just curious.
Or
is it cooking now?
No, so nothing came out of the reviver. We did the oil on the bowling ball, it absorbed it, but it all depended on how thick you smeared it, on how quick it absorbed. But it did absorb it. And then we hit it with cleaner and did it again, and it still absorbed at the same rate, so I don't know. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood what was going on.
But nothing came out of the new
Nothing came out of the new bowling ball.
You got a little bit higher than
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, must have been.
Yeah.
That was the owner, Rick. He was curious on our test as well, because he's been running bowling centers for as long as he can remember, and he's always been told to bake his bowling ball as well. All right, so the negative valve angle. Let's see. So that's kind of like a full roller layout, because we got to drill from you lay it out regular, then you flip it over and go off the negative positive access point. So it's like a motion control layout. As long as the motion control layout is done correctly, it shouldn't roll forward for you. It should give you because of your negative access, it should give you a continuous shape depending on what you're trying to lay it out for. But the negative positive access stuff, that does work. It's not very well known, or it's not very popular unless you're a negative access or a full roller bowler. And normally the full roller bowler, you can adjust your pitches in your fingers and thumb and get that track to move down a little bit. So sometimes you don't have to do a full roller layout, even if you are a full roller. Let's see. Submarine Mike, I appreciate that. Thank you. Mr. Garrett, anytime. Like I said, I try to utilize the channel to help every bowler. I don't care where you go to get your bowling balls drilled at. This is all about educating and letting you guys know what's available on the market and what's going to work the best for you guys during league. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Let's see. Tim Crane, you are very welcome. The Rockstar is still one of my favorites. We just did a video on what we would drill up if we had to choose a fresh bag, and that was my benchmark ball. I've been towing that since January, February of 25, and I'm still loving that ball. Rockstar is phenomenal. The oil, okay, so Randy, we tested a video that was sent to me, and it's been discussed in my inboxes for about a week now, about how a new bowling ball will extrude your plasticides at 120 plus degrees. So I baked 2 bowling balls, brand new bowling balls, in the Reviver, one at 120, one at 140, and nothing came out. I even checked the pad underneath. I put a new pad in. Nothing was on the pad. We smeared oil on it to see how quick it absorbed, and it all depended on how thick or how thin you smeared the oil on the cover. You could control how it looked like it was absorbing or it still wasn't absorbing and all this. Yeah, it's just, yeah. We put it to the test, and I'm going to stick to my guns and say, as long as you use professional equipment, heat in a Reviver is good for your maintenance and keeping your surface clean, and using a good bowling ball cleaner that brings out or it penetrates the cover and brings out some of that oil is going to be your best bet. I don't see heat being a problem. Let's see. What type of balls do you think are best for a slower speed, 13 to 14 miles an hour, and probably rev dominant, 2-finger, no thumb bowler? Okay, so slower speed, 13 to 14 miles an hour, rev dominant, that means you're about 450 rev or 400. I would probably recommend easy to control asymmetricals, nothing too strong in cover. I would probably recommend something like an Origin EX or a Next Factor in a Pearl. If you're looking for a symmetrical, you're going to want something that goes a little bit longer and that you can control with your rev rate to create how it drives. Something like a Nebula or even a Steel Forge from Motive. If you want to jump into different brands, it's a Phase 2 Pearl from Storm is really good. Let's see, for the lower speed, higher rev, what one is it from Brunswick that's a little bit smoother that you can create shape? Oh, Kinetic. The new Kinetic would be phenomenal for you. Small asym, but it's technically asymmetrical. Let's see. Eric, you're welcome, buddy. Anytime. See, what do you think of the Black Widow Tour V1 as a hybrid ball for slower ball speeds? I like the Tour V1. If I had to pick a small diff asymmetrical hybrid, right now I'm going to put holes in the Tour V1. I like the new Gremlin Tour. Quentin's put holes in that. He's been throwing the hell out of it. It's just rounder. I think the Tour V1 plays a little bit angular, and I like the shape of the Tour V1 compared to the Rockstar, but they're both really good. I'd recommend either one of those. Let's see. Submarine Mike, guys have helped me so much just back into bowling in August 25 after 30 years. You're an amazing resource. It's much appreciated. If I lived in upstate New York, I'd be there all the time. Well, Submarine Mike, I appreciate that. That is what we are trying to do. Like I said, I don't care where you get your stuff drilled. I don't care where you buy your stuff. I am just trying to do this as a resource for bowlers. I mean, if you want to support us, that's great too, but it's not why we do the YouTube part of it. Let's see. What do you think of ultrasonic cleaners to detox your ball? As long as it is not too hot a temperature, I think you're talking about the ultrasonic baths, like the, let's see, they call it trying to remember what they call it. I think I think they call it the rejuvenator, if I remember correctly. But it's I think it's 120 degrees too. Now that I think about it, I think they're both around 120 degrees. I think as long as you're not using excessive heat or excessive chemicals, it should be fine for everything. See, I love my counterattack salad. Looking forward to the revenge salad review. Hoping to see it Monday morning. Eric, the boys shot the fresh off the press shape video, and that will be posted Monday. About 10 to 15 days after that, they should be back with the full review to let you know about their honest opinion and if it's worth your hard-earned money. But that should be coming Monday. Should. If I get a chance to edit it. Today's Saturday, so as long as I get a chance to edit it on Sunday, we should be good. Worth a drive to visit the shop from anywhere. Randy, I appreciate that, and I know Randy travels quite a distance to come see me, and I appreciate that. Using an Ion Pro as my weak and smooth, but it's a little too strong for what I'm looking for. Any others out there I should look at? So the Ion Pro, I believe, if you're talking about the solid or are you talking about the hybrid, that's going to change my answer. So Tim Crane, let me know if it's the Pro, if it's the Ion Pro Solid or the Ion Pro Hybrid. Submarine Mike, I know Jayhawk makes it, but I think it's called something else. KVAS, yes, Jayhawk makes it. Mike Roble, Danger Zone. I find it's very slow to absorb oil and has a chemical smell. Have you found the same? Yes. So a lot of the plasticides that are used or that Brunswick uses, they have a citrus smell. And that's in a lot of their HK22C balls. That's got a pleasant smell to it. The Danger Zone had that harsh, not even a medical smell. It's almost like a dirty chemical smell. I totally understand what you're talking about. I ordered a case of them, and when we opened them up, we had to let them air out for a little bit. We had to put them in the back room. That's how bad they smelled. I do know what you're talking about. And they do absorb oil a little slower, but that is part of the polish that's on them. If you were to remove that polish, they do absorb oil a little quicker. They also do smooth out if you take the polish off the bowling ball. They also read a lot earlier, and they become a lot more controllable, just to keep that in mind too. Let's see. No, I think my feed is all messed up over here. Yep, my feed just started all over. I think it still says I'm live. Let's double check. Yep, still says I'm live. That's good. All right, where was I? John Vance, what's going on? Eric, I appreciate you watching all the reviews. I give Jaden hell all the time. I hope everybody saw his 300 video. Posted a short up of his 300. And he finally got his first sanctioned one. Done a lot of them in practice. A lot of them for the reviews. Or, well, one for the reviews. But he finally got his first sanctioned one on Monday night. Really cool to see. Let's see. KVAS, Jayhawk Detox Machine. You are absolutely correct. Detox Machine. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you. Tim Crane, the hybrid. So if you think the hybrid is a little bit too much for you, I would probably recommend a weaker layout. But if the Ion is a little bit too much for you, it means the new Gremlin Tour is going to be very round and earlier, that would probably be too strong for you as well. What about a rounder pearl? What if we went with something like a steel forge from Motive? That'd be a rounder, smoother ball. It's going to handle a little bit more oil. It's not going to rely on the surface to do it for you. That would be one that I would recommend. Let's see. The new Revenges might work for you. Then they're pretty good looking. Both the Solid and the Pearl came out this week. They might work for you as well. Submarine Mike, Jackson, Florida is definitely a long ass drive. I totally agree. The Double Trouble has a chemical smell too. Does it? Where is it? Where? I didn't realize. I didn't notice that. Mine doesn't. Mine's also been on the shelf for a little while, but I don't get. We didn't catch a chemical smell off the Double Trouble. Mike, you're welcome, buddy. I actually bowl on a scratch league with the owner of Jayhawk Bowling Supply if you need information about the equipment. Eric, I appreciate that, buddy. That's actually kind of funny. I was just looking at drill presses. I think it was last Sunday night. I'm getting ready to buy another one, and I was sitting there comparing the new Innovative drill press to the new Jayhawk drill press, and I was going through all the specs and everything. So that's pretty cool that you bowl with them. They got a good little company down there. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. Let's see, Craig, thumb molds. I've done a few of them, but with the new Jopo coming out, it's so much easier just to make one good thumb and take your time making that one good thumb. I haven't done a mold since Jopo really took off. Jopo was one of the very first interchangeable that I brought in, besides, you know, Ultimate and Turbo. And once everybody saw the Jopo, this was 5 years ago. It's been going ever since. Donald Sprouse. Our house is all wood lanes, so we don't get a lot of the bigger tournaments that other houses get. And with Rick, the owner, he's not a big tournament guy. He's more of a league guy. Like, our house is built for leagues. He does some open bowling every once in a while. He's not really focused on open bowling. We're a league house here. I would love to do some bigger tournaments, but that's not my department. Let's see. Saw his 300 video. He is a character. Yes, he is. Eric, he really is. So, since we started this, go on a little bit different side note here. I got to see Jaden's first 300 live on our Fresh Off the Press with the Hypnotized. That was amazing to watch. I watched his first one, sanctioned, which was just this last Monday at Ideal. I've got to watch Quentin throw his highest and his 300, 800, two-handed since converting to two-handed. I've got to watch JBB throw his first 300, 800, all since joining staff. Bryant winning Bowler of the Year. It is so good to see the boys succeed. Those guys put in so much work. It is so good to see them getting some good scores. Even though Jaden's 300, I don't think he hit the same line twice, but it's still good to see him get those scores. Yep, Ideal it was. Jason, it definitely was at Ideal. That's the house we talk about that always has the most free hook on the outside. And he showed that in the video. John Vance, I have 2 Black Widow Tour V1 pin up, pin down, a phase 2 Pearl. Looking for solid. What would you suggest? To play with the phase 2 Pearl, Black Widow Tour V1 pin up and pin down. So you're looking for a bigger asymmetrical solid. The one that I'm high on right now is that Equinox. That Equinox is really good. Equinox solid. If you want something bigger than an Equinox solid, I would say Track Synthesis, Ion Max if you like a little bit more angularity. Let's see, RST Hyperdrives. I think the Synthesis is better than the Hyperdrive. So, Ion Max, Synthesis. I think the Synthesis is better than the Jackal Onyx. But the Jackal Onyx is still good. I wouldn't shy anybody away from the Jackal Onyx, especially if you have a decent rev rate. Let's see, what other one is really good? Equinox solid, like I said. That's about the ones I would recommend right now. If you want to try a Radical Vexed with a maximum layout on it, it will play big, it will play strong. I mean, you could go that route as well. It's not going to be as big of a ball as, say, an Equinox, but you put the right layout on it, you can make it do what you want, for sure. Submarine Mike, fresh out of box, it might have. Like I said, the one I have right here doesn't, but that's been on the shelf for almost a month. I could run out back and see if they smell out of box, though. Tim Crane, you're welcome, buddy. No, there are no new Jopos coming out. I know they did just release new colors. This was a few months ago, though. New solid inner colors. They did a green. They did a pink. They did a yellow. They did a white. They've always had blue, purple, black, red, and orange. Those are the newest, besides their grips. Hang on, I'll show you their grips too. They got new finger grips out. They did change their finger grip makeup. The first batch that they came out with, I wasn't a big fan of. The new ones I like a lot better. Hang on, I gotta put all them back, but I'll grab some Jopo grips here. I got a couple right here. All right, so Jopo grips. They got nubbies in them. A lot of my guys like the Vice nubs. These have the nubs in them as well. They have multiple colors, good colors. These are a little bit softer than some of the other grips on the market. That is why I carry them. I carry Vice, Jopo, Turbo, and we also carry Customs, which are not a lot of people, sorry, have heard of. Customs, they create a vacuum. Before these grips came out, I was drilling multiple different holes to create a vacuum or using the Vice vacuum system. With this product here, I don't have to. So if you run vacuum grips, I definitely recommend looking into custom grips. All right, that answers the grips questions. Let's see. Jopo has the best thumb on the market. I totally agree. I've been rocking them for 5 years, ever since I opened the doors to the public. And that's the only thumb I really pushed. I think I was one of the first shops in the area to bring them in and start using them. John, you're very welcome. Black Widow 3.0 Dynasty would play in front of that, Justin. You're absolutely correct. My only concern with the Black Widow Dynasty is how late it goes, which pushes it into that Tour V1 pin-up area a little bit. That's the only reason I didn't recommend it. But yeah, it would definitely play in front of them. I do not compare the Evil Eye to the Equinox. I think the Evil Eye played a little smaller. Even when you did the maximum effect layout or maximum layout, it did play a little bit bigger. You changed the after drilling numbers to to a bigger bowling ball, but it still didn't play as early and as controllable as an Equinox, in my opinion. Okay, I think I'm all caught up on comments. I did it. Okay. So, if you guys have any more questions or another topic you would like to discuss. Evil Eye to the Vengeance, now that's more comparable. Totally agree. The Vengeance is still going to be a little rounder. It's going to be a little bit more earlier, but you can get very close with a good layout on the Evil Eye. I totally agree with that. Let's see. Mike Robble, Anger Solid, 260 high RG intrigues me. It's the purpose to get length plus smooth response off friction. Now, the Anger Solid, Mike, you give me 5 seconds, we'll talk numbers, but I got to get it. I try to remember as much as I possibly can, but I don't remember the numbers on the Anger Solid. We were not a big fan of that ball because it didn't have HK22 and it was very smooth. It didn't play like a typical hammer ball. All right, Anger Solid. So we have Anger Solid, and you must throw 14 pounds, Mike. So 2.603. 0.049 for the diff at 14 pounds. The one we tested was 15 pounds, so that had 2.567 and a differential of 0.049. Now, with the increase in the RG, the diff stayed the same, so that's going to promote a little bit more length. Correct. You are absolutely correct. It's going to promote more length, but it's still going to keep that smooth, kind of lackluster shape down lane. That's what we didn't like about the Anger. Now, if you hit it with surface, it does wake up. Tyler found that out firsthand. But it's still a very smooth, slower off of the spot bowling ball. And that didn't match up really well with Tyler. The one-handed guys that threw it, there's just a few better things on the market. Like the Hammerhead Solid was really good. The Rockstar was really good. So comparing them to those, it just kind of got bypassed. Let's see. What is your favorite thing about bowling? Submarine Mike. That's a really good question. My favorite thing about bowling is the community. I like that it is the same place where you will rub elbows with almost every walk of life, and you are here to basically enjoy yourself and try to beat the lane condition that is in front of you. It's not a competition against that bowler versus that bowler. You're trying to beat the lane condition. That is what I really like about this game. But other than the community, I mean, competitive for sure. Everybody's chasing honor scores. Everybody's chasing big sets. I just like to see people having a good time and enjoying themselves. That's why I do this. But yeah, that's my favorite thing about bowling is community. Big Mike Basil, would the GB5 Hybrid and the Venom Hysteria be a good 1-2 combo? Now, the GB5 Hybrid, if you ask Quentin, plays a little bit more angular. I think it plays smoother because I have a little bit less rev rate with my normal release than what Quentin throws with. I think the GB5 plays smoother, and I think that the Bionic gets a little bit more angular. And I think that the Venom Hysteria is angular. So, in my opinion, you could put them in the same bag together. There might be some overlapping though. One's gonna go longer, but that Hysteria cover does like to play a little bit earlier for a pearl, just to keep that in mind. Let's see. What's a good last game ball or for dry lanes? Now, there's a couple, Jason. There's only one on the market for asymmetrical. Well, I guess you could try to find a torpedo direct hit. If you can find a torpedo direct hit, they got discontinued quite a while ago. But that is a really good dry lane asymmetrical bowling ball. But the next factor is the only one that's current on the market for asymmetricals. Now, symmetrical, a good dry lane bowling ball. You can never go wrong with a thrill line, never go wrong with a hustle line. Those are some of my favorites. What do I normally throw on dry lanes? I normally just move left and bang the hell out of the nebula, but that's just me. I don't really have. I think the last light oil symmetrical ball I drilled up was the Max Thrill Solid. That plays fairly well. It's a little bigger, but I mean, symmetrical balls bounce off of it, and when you got free hook outside, you're going to move left, but you can make it work. Larry Tripp, how we doing, buddy? What would I say is the best symmetrical hybrid ball out right now? I have the Crown Vic and the RSTX for asymmetrical. All right, so the Crown Vic is one of the better symmetrical hybrids out there if you're talking angularity. There is nothing on the market that's longer and quicker off the spot for a hybrid than the Crown Vic. But in my opinion, I think the Bionic, oh, it's not even in screen. You know what the Bionic looks like. But the Bionic, Quentin just rated this thing a 10. I think the Bionic is really good. Another one I like, it's going to surprise some people, but the new GB5. Really like the GB5. JBB has this. He just packed this up to go to Reno with him. I think the GB5 is just as good as the Bionic, if that tells you anything. So those would be my two symmetrical hybrids right now. My little brother loves the clutch, so if I don't mention the clutch, he'll be mad at me. But that's got polish on it. It goes a little bit longer. I mean, you could definitely put one behind the other one if you really wanted to, but my little brother really likes the clutch. Now, Sprouse, what is your opinion on the full effect? I think it's more playable than the original. I totally agree. This ball right here, this full effect right here, is going to bring the effect line back to a lot of bowlers who wrote it off. This ball here, giddy ups and goes. I can't wait for Kevin Ferguson to get back into town. He's going to film that review fairly soon. He's going to do that review and the Assassin review really quick, and then you guys are going to understand. This ball moves. This ball's really good. I like the effect. I think it might be a little bit too big for the way Kevin likes to play, but really good ball. All right. Let's see. Panda team leader, any recommendations on how to get reaction back on Hammer New Blue? I've tried rejuvenating it and resurfacing it to box. I do clean my equipment often. Okay, so you have rejuvenated it, you have brought it back to box, and it just dead. It just died on you. Let's see. There are a few products out there that you can clean your bowling ball with that will bring your product back to life. A deeper cleaning bowling ball cleaner will dig deeper into the cover and push some of that oil and stuff out. But if you've already rejuvenated and revived it, the plasticides that are used in bowling balls nowadays are temporary. So they do die. Unfortunately, they do die. But the New Blue, when we tested it, Aaron Taft did the review for us, and it was good for a little while, but I believe his died too. I spoke to him a few weeks ago, and I don't think he's throwing that either. So, I mean, it might have just quit on you. It is possible. You can try some of those rejuvenating cleaners to see if it will bring it back to life. They have a few products out there that claim that they put plasticides back into a bowling ball. You can try them. I don't think that that is not the way the bowling ball is made, but I mean, might be cheaper just to buy a new one or try to find it. Have you tried the new 2.0, the gray one? That's still available. That one's a little bit rounder, but it still plays just as good. Some of the stuff that says they do a lot of things, I don't put a lot of stock in. I've got a cleaner that digs deeper. I know that to get some of the stuff out of your bowling ball, but if you've already detoxed it and rejuvenated it, there's not much else you can get out of it. So that's not the problem. It might just be a cover issue. Okay. Submarine, Mike, I told you, like, it's just a weird feel. Like, when you walk into a bowling alley, you never know who you're going to run into. You never know who you're going to be bowling up against. Yeah, you have the normal guys for league, but do you really know them? Not really, until you bowl with them, and then you get to know them, and it becomes a small little community, and that's what I really like. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. I have a 12 mile per hour speed and anger is the highest 14-pound RG, not a snappy pro. Correct. I totally agree. It's not going to be snappy. It's going to be round. It's going to be that smoother off of the spot. Mike Rubble, I mean, you're right in that kind of category. I don't know if you've ever looked at like a swag product or anything like that, but those are right in your wheelhouse at that speed and being higher rev. You should have a lot of success with a lot of the swag products that we test. Big Mike, I'm a no thumb bowler that shows around 14.5 at the pins with a 400 rev rate. For reference, with the GB5 hybrid Venom hysteria question. Okay, so yeah, you're higher rev. So yes, because you're higher rev and you are a little bit lower speed, I wouldn't say low speed, you're right at that 15 mile an hour mark, and that's what we look for. But with the higher rev rate at that 15 mile an hour mark, the GB5 hybrid is going to play like a benchmark bowling ball for you. It's going to be round, it's going to be smooth, it's going to be something you can control as long as you put a round and smooth layout on it. Now, the new Venom, if you put a long angular layout on that, you will get that as well. So you could definitely put them in the same bag. Let's see. Craig Whammy, Radical is still showing Torpedo Direct as a current ball. Now the Torpedo has been retired. Okay, I might have had them flop there. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. So the Direct Hit is still available, but the original Torpedo is not. So there's two on the market for dry lane asymmetrical bowling balls. That'd be the next factor, and the Torpedo Direct Hit. See. Randy St. Clair, I use the Motive Thrill on dry third game scenarios. It's a beast. Yes, yes it is. The only reason I don't have a Thrill hybrid is because I drilled a Thrill Solid, and they play very similar to each other. Thank you, Mike Roble. I appreciate that. You guys are why we do it, in all honesty. We're here to hopefully make everything better for you guys to understand. And we try to do it from a typical league experience or perspective. I mean, yes, there are some of us that average well over 200, but for the most part, we're right around that 200 mark. And we try to explain everything for you guys just like a typical league bowler. You guys do a great job in giving us information on all balls, Brunswick Storm, and Moto. Thank you. We appreciate that. GB5 is really good. Solid. The GB5 Solid was really good. The only GB5 I didn't care for was the Pearl. It was just too smooth, but that's just my preference, different styles. Clutch was the first hybrid I liked throwing. That would be Little Beard. Like I said, if I didn't mention it, he'd be pissed. Craig Whammy, yes, the torpedo direct hit is still available in all ways. Yep. Let's see, Aegon. Yeah, if you jump onto our channel, I know this, like I said, a lot of the live guys, you don't even watch our reviews or whatever, but if you jump onto our channel, we review every bowling ball that has been made in the last 3 years. We haven't missed a bowling ball. So we have tested the swag stuff since they teamed up with Bowlers Mart or got revamped with Bowlers Mart. So we tested the first year, which was 24. We tested those 12. Or no, 25. We tested those 12, and then we just tested the first 6 that came out this year. So we have tested, what, 18 of the newer releases from Swag? What do I... the Serpent, I did the review on. I rated it a 7. With our rating scale, we do 0 to 10. Anything over like anything over 8 is something you guys really want to go look at. It's something you want to invest your time into, at least look at before you make a purchase. 5 to 7 is that kind of typical bowling ball. It's, you know, there's some better, there's some worse. There's Swag. All right, Swag. Besides the Craze Tour Pro line, the Craze Pro is solid, is a little finicky compared to the Pearl, but the Craze Pro Pearl, phenomenal bowling ball. JBB really loved that. He rated that, I think, an 8 or 8.5. Besides that bowling ball, we're still waiting on the Assassin review and the Unreal review, but the boys aren't too thrilled with them, I will be completely honest. Full Effect is on the wish list. Submarine Mike, I can't blame you there. Randy St. Clair, those are made by Big Dog. I'm still waiting to finish my first order. I mentioned in a couple of videos ago that I was going to put another order in. I'm waiting for the first order to get complete. Once that first order gets complete, then I will put a message up into the community page on our YouTube channel, and I will take your guys' size and what you guys want on the back, and we'll just order them up. The price point is a lot better compared to the other bowling company I was with. Big Dog normally does softball jerseys or baseball jerseys, so it's a little bit of a different company. We don't do the quarter zip collar anymore like Bowlifi does, but Bowlifi was getting up to the $80, $90 jersey mark, so trying to find a cheaper option for the guys. But I really like the black and white ones. I like the black and white colorway, so we will be ordering more from them. We're just waiting for the first order to get complete. We had a few names. We had one name misspelled on the first order, so we're waiting for that to show up, and we're waiting for Quitten's to show up. Once that happens, we'll be ordering again. Donald Sprouse, Submarine Mike, I love mine. It's controllable, yet strong, very predictable for me. Perfect game 2 or into transition. Yeah, it plays better than most of the Effect line, in my opinion. I totally agree with you, Donald. Let's see, Eric Schultz, new 2.0 is such better than the new blue. I agree. I think the new 2.0 is really good compared to the new blue. The new blue just wasn't as good down lane off of the friction, where the new is better. The new 2.0 is better. All right, so Craig Whammy, maybe a question no one has asked yet. How many games do you recommend before you detox? I am a firm believer in 75 game mark, especially for your pearls and your bigger solids. You might have to do it more around the 50 game mark because those absorb. They're designed to absorb. They're designed to soak up oil through the mids. So your solid surface bowling balls normally absorb faster. So I recommend them right around the 50 game mark. But your pearls, you can get 75, 100 games out before you got detoxing. Panda Team Leader, yeah, the new 2.0 is good. And if you want to mix it up a little bit, you should look at the new Tank Shadow from Motive. That's really good as well. That was our discount code forever because Jaden rated that a tank. He rated that a 10. So the new Tank Shadow is really good as well. Let's see, Jason Borick. I have met more people in a year of bowling leagues than I have in the last 20 to 30 years. And most are all great people. I recommend it to every bowl. Yeah, Jason, I totally agree with you. Like I said, Jason Borick, he's the gentleman I'm reading this comment from. He's actually the gentleman that brought me the Ebonite Clear Wolf, and I wouldn't have known him if it wasn't for bowling. So you meet really good people. I mean, you meet some special ones too, but you meet really good people at league. And that's what I really like about it. Let's see. Eric Schultz, I see a lot of concepts being thrown in Reno. What are your thoughts on the concept? I like the concept. I think a lot of guys are drilling them too strong. We put a 5-inch pin on Kevin's, and everybody berated us in the comments about how we went too weak, how we went too long of a pin for Kevin. He shot his review on House Shot because that's what we do. We review our bowling balls on House Shot because that's what a lot of my league guys do. They bowl on House Shots. But we drilled that specifically for his short oil ball or his like short oil, high friction houses. And he took it to a short oil pattern and he loves it. It does everything he wants it to do. I think a lot of the guys that are throwing them have them drilled a little bit too strong, but I think the concept's a really unique bowling ball. I think it is one of the ones that is going to get a lot of people out of a pinch that they find themselves in. But at the same time, because it is so unique and so niche of a bowling ball, a lot of bowlers are going to skip on it, I do think. Let's see, Big Mike. Would the Bionic be a better combo piece with the Venom, Hysteria? Or what ball would you suggest for league bowling that would combo with the new Venom Hysteria? Really good question, Mike. With the Venom Hysteria, I would probably have to recommend as a ball up from it would probably be the Evoke Hysteria, in all honesty, because it's going to give you similar shape, just earlier and quicker off of the spot because it's got the bigger core. Ball down, I would have to go I'd probably have to go Max Thrill Hybrid. But then again, they do play similar. And that section down at the bottom is getting very crowded for Motive. I don't know if you would need a ball down, honestly, for league. I don't think you would need a ball down for league. I could be wrong, but as a no thumb bowler, you're already used to hooking the lane. So a couple more boards left. As it dries out, it's not going to bother you. So yeah, I would probably go Evoke Hysteria to the Venom Hysteria. Same cover, different core, similar shapes. Could be a really good 1-2 punch, in all honesty. Let's see, Donald, what balls have you or the guys have rated a 10 that are still available? Tank Shadow, Bionic, and that might be it because Brunswick just discontinued 22 bowling balls. I know Quentin rated the Cypher. Oh, that was a 9.5. I apologize, but that's pretty close to a 10. Jaden rated it Hypnotize a 9.5. But they're all discontinued now. So, like I said, those might be the only 2 bowling balls that we rated a 10, or 3 bowling balls that we rated a 10 that are still available. Unfortunately, sad, but the Raptor Rain, I almost rated a 10, but I didn't. The Equinox, I almost rated a 10, but didn't. I rated it a 9.5. Because there's some people out there that aren't going to get the same results because they don't have as many rev rates. But really good bowling balls as well. There was a couple more that Bryant had that he was like really, really high on. Synthesis is one of them. He rated that a 9, I think, 9.5, and Kraft doesn't rate things high. I'm trying to think what else. JBB with a severe collision, but that got discontinued. So yeah, that's about it, unfortunately. We don't rate a lot of bowling balls 10s. Swag Judgment Hybrid. That is the one, Mike Roble, that is the one that Tyler just did the review on. Now, if you go and watch Tyler's review on our channel of that bowling ball, and then you watch the Vexed bowling ball review, he literally shot the Vexed review right after the Swag Judgment review. For everybody trying to get a reference point on how this bowling ball played for him, it was the same lane conditions. It was literally the next game right after it. Just to give you guys some concept there. As a rule of thumb, how long does it take for a new cover to break in? I normally give it about 6 to 10 games. If it takes longer than 10 games, it's going to get to the point where we will let you know on the video that it took forever for the core to break in. I think the couple of them that we did test that did take a long time to break in, one was the Ion Pro Solid from Storm. Another one was the Swag Fusion Hybrid. Those took forever to break in, but everything else has fallen right in that 6 to 10 game mark. Let's see. Donald Sproul. If you drilled a concept for Little Beard, what layout would you give it? I don't think I would drill a concept for Little Beard. I watched Justin throw urethane the other day, and it was not pretty. But some people don't understand the concept behind urethane. A lot of bowlers don't even throw urethane. They've never thrown urethane. Or if they did, they don't even know they did throw urethane. Unless it was, 20, 30 years ago. But if I had to drill a concept for Justin, I would probably go max layout. 4x4x2. Something that's going to be early, something that's going to flare, even though the ball don't flare, or you don't see the flare on it. Yeah, I would probably do a 4x4x2 or literally a 45x4x45. I would probably go stupid strong with it just to see what it would do. Eric, thanks again, James, for all you do. You and your team are great. I look forward to all the videos. A lot of good information. Much appreciated. Keep up the fantastic work. Eric, we really appreciate that. Like I said, we're trying. We're trying to give different content. We're trying to get back into the swing of this. February and March were brutal. I think yesterday was the first time I went live in like 6 months. So you're getting 2 back-to-back. So that's rare. Trust me. Probably won't happen like that again. But I didn't want to post a video to address the emails and the private messages I was getting. I figured the live would be the best way to do it. That way, there was no questions about what we did. Let's see. Larry Tripp, I love my Cypher Pearl. Just threw 210 with it on Wednesday in league. Yeah, Cypher Pearl was really good. It got overshadowed by the Crown Vic. Randy St. Clair, Raptor Reigns. Yep, still my ball 1. I love that ball. Symmetrical solid, really good. Another ball that's similar to it that got overlooked is that Columbia Pulse. Just to let you know, they're on discontinued now, and they're going to be cheap to find. Since they are no longer a brand, they have retired the brand. Panda Team Leader, who is drilling the Kinetic? I will probably put holes in the Kinetic, in all honesty. Every bowling ball this month and next month that is designed for two-handers, I am making sure that we put a thumb hole in. A lot of people pass on the bowling balls that are designed for two-handers, and they're missing out on some really good pieces. JBB showed that with the Double Trouble. I know the Double Trouble is designed for two-handers, but that thing looks phenomenal with JBB. He's killing it with that ball. great step down from his GB5 hybrid. I will probably put holes in the Kinetic, or I will put holes in the Rocket. I haven't decided yet. And then we will probably give the other one to one of the other boys that uses their thumb. Mike Roble, you watch them. You know, like I said, a lot of people have different house conditions than we do here. And we try to explain that every video as well. We don't have dry outsides. We don't have free hook, even though we're on wood surface. It's one of the cleaner surfaces that I bowl on, and I bowl in a couple of different houses. I mean, ideal on Monday is free hook. That was the video you just saw Jaden throw 300 with. You saw how much, yeah. His last ball, the 300, that showed you how much free hook's out there. Excuse me. Let's see. Have you ever polished, compound an Equinox solid? Shiny solids seem to work for me. I have not. Ed Sharp, I like the Equinox out of box. I like the Equinox with a little bit of lane shine, but I've never polished one. Assuming they invite you out on, you catch more fish. I'll be honest with you, Mike. I don't fish. If I ever get time off, I normally spend it on the bike if I could get time off, and I haven't had time off in years. But yeah, fishing, that is not my forte. Let's see, Big Mike. So I have an Ion Max. I have a 5x4 by 3.5 2LS layout on it. Okay. Ball is just way too strong for anything I've ever bowled on. So, Big Mike, you could try to polish it before you sell it, because you could easily take the polish off. I would highly recommend that. You can always plug it and drill it weaker too. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about plug bowling balls. Some bowlers hate plug bowling balls. But if you do like a 1 or a 2 layout on it, it'll create length and angularity on the back end. And what I've been working with a lot of my guys is we are starting to utilize the dual angle layout instead of the 2LS layout, because the 2LS doesn't always, and I'm not saying it doesn't, but it sometimes doesn't take in full effect for their positive access point. I know for Tyler, we went back to dual angle. Quentin, in the last couple of his bowling balls, we went back to dual angle. I think Jaden is the only two-hander left that is still using the 2LS system on the channel right now. Let's see, Panda Team Leader, how would you find out that a ball is good, meant for two-hander? So normally we test it, in all honesty. But when they design a bowling ball with a two-hander in the thought process of designing a bowling ball, it's normally got a sweet spot of the RG and a sweet spot of the diff that is designed to rev up either later or very quick to allow them to be able to control it as a two-hander, because a two-hander normally has a higher rev rate and more speed. So normally it's the sweet spot of the RG and diff. Saw what looks to be a new hammer ball in the house video. Green and black. Williams threw it. Plus I'm a thumb end bowler and the double trouble rolls great for me. Submarine Mike, yeah, that's why we kind of switched it up this month and made sure that the bowling balls that came out that were designed for the two-handers, we made sure we put thumb holes in them just to prove that. I think a lot of the double trouble line, or the troublemaker line, and the heckler line, they look really good with a thumb hole in it. And I think a lot of bowlers skip them because they are designed for two-handers, and you're missing out on some good product when you do that. Submarine Mike, I'm not sure about the new hammer ball, green and black. Only green and black ball from B7 right now, or B6, I apologize, would be the combat, but it's got gray in it. I don't think, yeah. And anything else that's coming. Strategies blue and black. That's a B6 product, so yeah, no. But they have access that I don't have, so a lot of times the pro shops don't even know what we're getting until you guys find out what's coming. Let's see. What else we got here? How would the GB5 hybrid be on old high friction lanes? Currently using Venom shock, followed by Mantra hybrid, and if needed, GB4 hybrid, polished. Also thinking of getting a new Pearl. All right, so old high friction surface, Tori. GB5 hybrid would be round, smooth, and early. It would definitely be a ball 1 option on high friction. It might be too much ball, in all honesty, depending on how much friction and free hook you're talking about. But it should blend it as a hybrid, so it should work out fairly well for you. If you're looking for a new Pearl, and you already like the Venom shock, I would definitely recommend the new Venom Hysteria to look at least. That should be a good 1-2 punch for you. Submarine Mike. I think the hammer ball I saw was a tease like Storm did with the rocket and Mensa. Probably. Like I said, I won't know until they get dropped, and by the time I drop, get notified, you guys get notified. Okay, it is 9:12 p.m. my time. We have been on live for 118 minutes, almost 2 hours. I think that's a good place to kind of end it. I covered what I needed to cover. We finished up the video with your guys' questions. Anybody have anything else? I'll give you the last couple of minutes, and if not, I'm gonna drill bowling balls. And I'm hopefully going to film whatever bowling ball I put holes in tonight or Monday. So go home. That is where I'm headed, maybe. I got a couple more to drill, but then I am headed home for sure. Larry, I'll be honest with you, the boys did very well. One was happy and one wasn't, but that's normally the way it goes. But I haven't sat down and started to edit yet, but I think it'll be a decent video. Randy, I appreciate you, buddy. I'll see you soon. Eric, you're very welcome. Glad I could help. And like I said, guys, we do this for you. If you guys haven't found the channel yet, make sure you do hit the little icon there. Take a look at what we do, what we do. We definitely try to focus on every release. Like I said, I don't think we've missed any of the bigger releases in the last 3 years, but we try to make this as easy for you guys to get and understand what we see as typical league bowlers. So hopefully it helps you guys make your bowling ball decisions a lot easier. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Tori, I'm glad I can make you happy, buddy. Submarine Mike, have a good night, buddy. Panda Team Leader, the live fresh off the presses, they didn't do very well. They do better if I have multiple bowlers, and when I have multiple bowlers, it takes too long and a lot of people lose focus. But we could definitely try it again. I have no issue trying it again. Jordan, I'm a Special Olympics athlete. I have Strike King bowling ball for dry lanes since I was a teenager. Should I get a new one for dry lanes? So Jordan, if it's working for you, it's working for you. As long as you stay up on the surface and do your maintenance, the bowling ball will last you. If you want a newer bowling ball, That's normally what it comes down to, is wanting a new bowling ball. Unless you are seeing a decrease in performance that maintenance won't bring back, then you kind of need a new bowling ball. That's a little bit different. But if you want a new bowling ball for drier lanes, I am a huge fan of the Thrill line, and I'm a huge fan of the Hustle line. They are SPI Hustle and the Motive Thrill. If you're looking for a Brunswick product in that kind of category, I would have to probably go Danger Zone Pearl-ish. But yeah, those would be the three lines I would recommend for you to take a look at. So the strategy is going to give it a little bit different shape than the Zero Mercy. The Zero Mercy Solid and Pearl play off each other because they have the same core and the same shape down lane. That's why they play so well off each other. The strategy is going to be a little bit angular and a lot more poppier down lane. I'm trying to think who was going to drill that up for us. We haven't shot it yet. Seen a few guys throw it. I haven't thrown it yet either, but from what I see, it's long, poppy down lane. So it's be two different shapes. I don't know how, I mean, as long as you're okay moving a little bit more left to play that deeper angle, yeah, it'll work. That's a good ball too. John Vance, thank you, buddy. Have a good night. I think that's it. That's all the comments. I think we hit the 2-hour mark. Like I said, guys, hit the icon. Take a look at the channel. See what we do. Hopefully we can get you guys to like, subscribe, hit the post notification bell, because we will be coming back with a video here pretty soon with your guys' votes on what bowling ball to give away for our Bowling Ball of the Year video of 2025. We're tallying up the votes here pretty soon, and we'll be giving away a bowling ball, whatever you guys voted, and we'll be giving you guys how to win that bowling ball. So make sure you do hit the notify button. Let's see. Gremlin. Gremlin's a good ball. Gremlin Tour is even better, in my opinion. 14 pounds. I definitely like the Gremlin Tour better. Jordan, no, not a problem at all. Like I said, buddy, try to do this for all the bowlers we possibly can. That is awesome to hear, and I wish you the best of luck, Jordan. Big Mike, yep, you're already on there. Whatever we're giving away, you're already in there. Thank you for the awesome videos. It's helped me buy some new equipment and have had some success with the decision. Perfect. Panda team leader, I appreciate that. That's what we're here for. Jordan, good night, buddy. Matthew Decker, you drilled my, yep, Gremlin Tour X, yes. Great ball. I really like it. Okay, I think that's, give it a couple seconds. Yes, it does. It hits hard. It's smooth. It's right. Yes. It's one of my favorite small diff hybrids at the moment. That and the Tour V1. I like them both. Two different shapes. Gremlin Tour is really round. Tour V1's a little bit angular. Matthews, sounds good, buddy. I can't wait to see you again. Donald Prowse, we will do another video on how to win the bowling ball, but yeah, it's going to be really simple. Like I said, we don't make our giveaways difficult at all. It's normally just a simple email, but we will go over that once we tally up all the votes so you guys know what you're going to win, and we'll go from there. But make sure you turn on your notification button, because that video will be coming soon. All right, guys, on that note, like, share, subscribe, hit the post notification bell, and I'll see you all next time.